John Beverly, the Candyman, the businessman with a conscience, on LICMC.net radio every Saturday at 3 p.m.
Hello, everyone. This is John Beverly, the businessman with a conscience, here at the Chimalam Village, where each one reach one, each one teach one brick, one building, one block at a time. Y'all can say people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And today I would like to speak to you about respect that we have for one another, collaborating with one another, and help meeting the need of each other. And most important, here at the village, it's a youth development center, and we work with a lot of kids ranging from the age of 5. We have a 5 to 8 class, and we have a 8 to 12 and a 12 to 17. So we see and meet and greet a whole lot of different children from one stage to the other. And remember, sharing is caring. And what we would like to do and say today, I would like to just speak about meeting the need. Everyone needs help at one time or another, needs support from one time or another, and even parents. And here at the village, we often say it takes a village to raise a child. And I often tells a story that when I was coming up, how the elders, how they respected one another and how they raised their children, the mothers and the fathers. And it may not have been a village, even if it was just a neighborhood, but they helped in their own little way, that they would kind of, when they see the children doing something that they didn't have any business doing, they would kind of correct them. And back then, not today, if you did some of the things that they did back then, such as when they found your child, especially the neighbors, uncles, and aunts, and close friends, when a child did something that they didn't have any business doing, those adults would chastise them, even if it meant to whoop them. And back then, they taught spare not the rod, because if you spare the rod, it spoils the child. So what they found themselves doing is when a child was doing something that he didn't have anything doing, any business doing, such as disrespecting or just plain being bad, uh, the neighbors, the uncles and aunts and what have you, they kind of, chastised that child. They let them know that they was doing something that they didn't have any business doing, and they taught them how to respect adults. Today, unfortunately, a lot of children don't seem to have that respect. back then when uh, one of the adults or the other would say something to your child, they had respect for them and they looked at what they did or didn't do. And when that adult told them about what their child was doing, the parent would, chastise their child and let them know that uh, the adult that had something to say or discipline them one way or the other, you know, it was out of respect what they was doing for them. So when they found themselves, whooping one or the other, that child knew that whatever they did when they got home, the chances are they might even get another whooping because they knew that they was doing something that they didn't have any business doing, and that parent respected that adult enough to listen to what they had to say, and they got with their child. But today, often when a parent or another adult would tell their friends about something that their child had done, most of the time the parents find themselves taken up for that child, or not for their own child, because most of the time they will have a tendency to say, "Not my child. My child wouldn't do that," and it's almost as if to tell the adult, "You're lying on my child." But I tell people, if I think enough of you and your child to try to correct them when they're doing something wrong, to express and show them and try to lead and guide them and teach them what they should be doing. The Bible says, bring up a child the way that he should go, and when he get older, he will not depart from that. But my parents, because of the love that they had for us, they listened to the adults, the other parents that had something to say, and often they said, why would Mr. Such and Such or Mr. Beverly or Mr. Green or Mr. Black or whoever lie on you? He have better things to do than to just lie on you. So they often found themselves, getting with that child, and that put a little fear in that child because they knew that they had to, when they was in the streets or whatever, that there was people watching them. And it wasn't that they was just watching them because they didn't have anything else to do, but they just was alert and aware. And when they saw something, they said something. And that was out of love and respect for the child and the parent. And here at the village, what I find myself, because I'm from the old school as well, I don't try to chastise another parent's child, but I do try to correct them and try to teach them the right thing to do, the right things to say. And even when they're in the village stores, our entrepreneurship, when we get the kids come in and all of them is making a purchase, and every now and then one or two of them don't have something, I like to make sure that all of them feel good, and because it's kind of hard to look at a child and see that that child look at everybody else with something and they don't have anything. So sometimes, most of the time, I find myself giving them something as well. And then every now and then, we have to teach and reach one another, even the children. So sometimes they even, it's a school in progress and a schooling section every chance you get to work with these children. Sometimes, some of them may not be able to count as well. So what I do when they're making a purchase, I don't just take their money and give them their change. I make them count. I ask them, I said, how much with that item? And they tell me, especially if they give me a bill of 5 or 10 or 20 or something of that sort. I ask them, how much change are you supposed to get back? And sometimes they know and sometimes they don't know. But I make them think. I make them look at what they're doing and their purchase and make them think about, and try to make sure I take their money and I say, okay, you got this for $1 and you have a $5 bill. So we're going to take $1 out of this five. So how much change would you have rather than just giving it back to them? So we make them use their minds, their brain, you know, to count. And sometimes they'll ask for an item and they'll point at it. I said, what are you pointing at? And they said, that. I want that right there. I said, what is that? So in a sense, it's another tool. I make them read if it's a bag of chips, it's a Lay's, it's a hot chip, or it's a onion, or it's a Frito, it's popcorn. Tell me what you want. Don't just point at it. I want a candy bar. Which one? That one. What is that? A Hershey or Mr. Goodbar. I make them read. So we help us one to another. We help the parents in a sense, not saying that they're not going to school, they're not learning, but it kind of helps you to kind of make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do. And if they're getting that everywhere that they go, they'll become better children. They have more respect for you. And you have to be fair, but firm. And like I say, here we believe in each one reach one, each one teach one. One brick or one child, one person at a time. And there's nothing wrong with, and if a parent come to me and tell me, I've had them to come and thank me for that. I haven't yet had a parent to come to me and tell me that their child told them that I made them read or count or add their change. And every now and then, some have seen me do it and thank me, caring. Like I say, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So by the things that we do here at the village, it shows that we care. We're concerned about not only our children, but yours as well. And that's one of the reasons why parents find themselves, want to bring their children here. For sometimes if it's no more than helping with the discipline, they know that they're going to learn something one way or the other. So when they come here, like I say, everybody needs a little help. Each one reach one, each one teach one. You never know what kind of help a person needs, but when you see a need, we should help meet the need. And sometimes we find ourselves, you see people going through things and you see that there is something that you can do, but you won't. You won't. You just look at it and see and won't do anything about it. So we have to take and find ourselves help meeting the need. So like I often say, here at the village, each one reach one, each one teach one. One brick, one building, one block at a time. We're listening to John Beverly, the businessman with a conscience, where people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Beverly, the businessman with a conscience, here at the Alkemalon Village, where each one reach one, each one teach one. One brick, one building, one block at a time. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I'm here with T-Bob, and she's going to share a little information with you, what she does.
Yes, yes. Well, I'm T Barb. I'm a local comedian, and I also have a nonprofit organization that works with Al Keevaline called T Barb and Friends. And we have been blessed by this young man over here, around yonder, with some products for our annual hygiene drive where we give different hygiene items to kids that are going back to school, just got back in school. And as we know, a lot of young ladies don't often have the sanitary products. They need soap, they need all types of things. And we have a donation. So we'll be able to help so many kids thanks to Baba John. So we are so thankful. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to John Beverly, the businessman with a conscience, where people don't know how much you care until they know how much you care. We show that we care about the things that we do. Thank you.
A Kubalon Village presents youth field trip events, Fridays 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. and 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., ages 5 to 17. $10 per person, minimum 10, max 15. Saturdays and Sundays 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. $200, minimum 10, max 15. Includes a Kubalon special, hot dogs, chips, and punch. A Kubalon Village's activities and amenities: air hockey, pool table games, video games, foosball, karaoke, movies, TV, cafe. Located at 7701 Harbor Avenue in Detroit, Michigan, 48213. For more information or to schedule, call 313-921-1616, 313-921-1616. Credit cards, checks, cash apps, and Zelle accepted. It's our pleasure to serve you. Culinary pleasure. Have your next social event here at a Kubalon Village. Recreation, Entrepreneur Cafe, Culinary Pleasure, Recreation, Education, Culture. For more information, call 313-921-1616, 313-921-1616.
My newest news is I have a channel on stream.com/London TV Net. 24/7 live streamed TV. The name of my station is John B. TV. And remember, this is John Beverly, the businessman with a conscience.
John Beverly, the Candyman, the businessman with a conscience, on licmc.net radio every Saturday at 3 p.m.